Testing, testing.
Hello, we're starting a concert very soon, so if you'd like to go to the designated area to watch the concert, there's the executive area, there's the cafeteria at 8:25, and the cafeteria at 19:20. Please tune in if you have the time.
Okay, welcome to Ariel Lunchtime concert. And we are very happy to have Lillian Chen today to play for us. And she's a wonderful student of Laura Schindler. And we have Laura to introduce her. And please.
Is this on, Ty? Is this on? Yes. Okay. Lillian Chen is 13 years old and in the 8th grade at Mosaics Academy for Gifted Students at Parkway West Middle School. She began her piano studies with Laura Schindler in September of 2015. Lillian was first place trophy winner for Piano Ensemble in grades 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and second place gold medal winner for 7th grade in the MMTA State Piano Competition. And for solo piano, she was first place trophy winner in grade 2, second place gold medal winner in grade 3 and 6, and third place silver medal honorable mention winner for both 7th and 8th grade solo piano at the MMTA State Piano Competition. Lillian was chosen by audition to perform in both the SLAMTA Eastman and Sylvan Negrutiu masterclasses, the youngest student chosen, and was second place winner in Division 1 of the 2018 New York Steinway Piano Competition. On October 30th, 2021, Lillian performed the first movement of the Haydn D Major Piano Concerto with Belleville Philharmonic as a Star of Tomorrow winner. And in April of 2022, she was second prize winner in Division 1 of the prestigious SLAMTA Young Artist Piano Competition. On November 19th, Lillian played music of Chopin for the Polonaise Ball, and on December 8th, she played music, basically this program she will play for you. She played for music of Bach, Beethoven, Chopin, Liszt, and Debussy in a solo recital for the College Club of St. Louis. Lillian also plays violin in the Parkway West Middle School Orchestra and enjoys drawing. Now, I want to introduce the first piece that Lillian will play. And Lillian will play two movements from the French suite. Can you take that paper? Okay. No, just give me that. Lillian will play two movements from the French suite number 5 in G major by J.S. Bach. And Johann Sebastian Bach was born in 1685 and he died in 1750. He lived I want to say a little bit about Bach. He lived most of his life in East Germany. He had organ jobs in Leipzig and Weimar, and I'm not sure where he was born, but I know he had organ jobs. He was a church organist, and he wrote a lot of church music, in addition to keyboard music, which at his time was organ and harpsichord. And Lillian will play for you the Gavotte et Gigue from the French Suite number 5 in G major. Please welcome Lillian to the piano. Take your mask off. Okay, we're moving from the Baroque period to the classical period. So Lillian will play for you a movement of the first sonata that Beethoven wrote. And Beethoven was born in 1770 and he died in 1827. And I think, I'm just going to say this from memory and I may be inaccurate. I think he was born in Bonn, Germany, and I'm pretty sure he died in Vienna, Austria, but I'm not 100% sure of these facts because I do not have them written down and I did not look them up. But she is playing, for a while, Beethoven studied with composition with a composer, Neef, Neefe, in Germany. And then Haydn was very famous. So Vienna went to, Beethoven went to Austria, Vienna, to study with Haydn because he was so famous. But he did not like Haydn as a composer teacher. And so he only studied 1 year with Haydn. And then he went back to his own composition teacher, Neef, Neefe. And the first 3 sonatas that Beethoven wrote, he did dedicate to Haydn. And she will play for you the 4th movement of the very first sonata that Beethoven wrote. Sonata number 1 in F minor, opus 2. And the title of the movement is Prestissimo. Okay, I have to say that this is so unlike Haydn. You know, it's so very Beethoven, even though it's early Beethoven. And he has a beautiful middle section, which is, it's very unlike Haydn, unlike his teacher Haydn. And the middle section is so uh, beautiful, I think. But now we're leaving the classical period and we're moving on to the romantic period. And we're going to play, Lillian's going to play for you two pieces by Chopin and a little bit about Chopin. Chopin was born in Zelazowa. I hope I'm saying this right, but there's no one Polish here to correct me, so that's okay. It doesn't matter. He was born in Zelazowa, Zelazowa Wola, Poland, in a small village near Warsaw. He was born in 1810, and he died in 1849 in Paris. And it's interesting to know that Chopin is not a Polish name. That's a French name because his father was French. And his father lived the first part of his life in France, and then he moved back to Poland, and he married a Polish girl, and then they had children. And I think Chopin was the youngest of 4 children, and he had 3 older sisters. One of Chopin's mother and his sister Ludwika also played the piano. And it was from them that Chopin was first introduced to the piano. Now, Chopin's name is Frederick, which is Polish, but Francois is French. Frederick Francois Chopin. So it's a very French name with a Polish first name. When Chopin moved to Paris when he was 19, I've got to say something about him. By the time Chopin was 20, by the time he was 20, I want to find this. He had already written 50 works for piano by the time he was 20. I think about our young people today and all their technology. I'm wondering if they could come up with 50, piano pieces that people play 250 years from now by the time they're 20. It's amazing what these great composers did during their life with only paper and pencil and the instrument. So that's something to think about. Now, Lillian is going to play for you one of Chopin's etudes. By the way, Chopin loved Bach, and he was very influenced by Bach. So like Bach worked in numbers, he wrote 6 French suites, 6 English suites, 6 partitas, which are the German suites, 15 2-part inventions, 15 3-part inventions, 24 preludes and fugues, book 1. That wasn't enough. He wrote 24 preludes and fugues, book 2. So Chopin did the same thing. Chopin wrote in numbers. So he wrote 24 preludes for the piano. He wrote 24 etudes, 12 etudes, book 1, 12 etudes, book 2. He wrote 4 scherzi. He wrote 4 ballades. He worked in numbers just like Bach did. So what Lillian will play for you is this second etude, I think. I don't have my program, but yeah. Etude opus 25, number 2 in F minor. It's the second etude of the second book of etudes, opus 25. And then she will play for you the scherzo number 1 in B minor. And I would like for her to play these without interruption, so please do not applaud after the etude. Wait until after the scherzo to applaud. But I wanted to say something about the scherzo. During the time that Chopin was living in Paris, the Poles were rebelling against the Russians, who have always dominated their country. And it's very sad. They were beaten down by the Russians, so they didn't win the rebellion. But this scherzo goes back to that rebellion. So it's a very violent scherzo. It's showing the rebellion. And then in the middle of the scherzo, it plays the Polish, very famous Polish Christmas carol. It's very famous. And they sing it every year at the Polish American Cultural Society, and I play for it, so I know the piece. So I'm going to give it to Lillian now, and Lillian will play for you the Etude number 2 in F minor, and then after a short break, she will play the Scherzo number 1 in B minor. Okay, before we move on to Liszt, which is still in the Romantic period, I just want to say that Chopin's insertion of that very famous Polish Christmas carol was a nod to his Polish heritage. And I just wanted to say that because that is one of that they always sing that every Christmas at the Polish American Cultural Society, that particular carol. It's very famous. So now we're moving on. We're staying in the Romantic period, but we're moving on to a later composer, Liszt. Now, Liszt was born 1 year after Chopin. He was born 1811. However, he died in 1886. I think this is right. Yes. He died in 1886. He was Hungarian, and he was very kind of flamboyant, different from Chopin. Chopin was more of a recluse because he was sick so much of his life. But Liszt was definitely not that. Liszt traveled all over Europe, all over Eastern Europe and Western Europe, and he was kind of like a ladies' man. So he had like a lady every city that he went to. And the astounding thing was, he decided when he became older that he decided he did away with that lifestyle and he went into a monastery and became a monk. And so it's most interesting, you know. However, he wrote some very famous pieces that everybody recognizes the world over. You know, you don't even have to be a classical musician. And one of these pieces is this Liebestraum. And this is a third Liebestraum. He wrote 3 of them. This is a third one. And this is the most famous one. And you could hear this on Muzak. You could hear this in elevators. You could hear this in restaurants. You could hear it everywhere. Only, however, they never play the hard part of it. They stop at the hard part. They only play the beginning of it. But it's very, very famous. So I'm going to let Lillian play for you the third Liebestraum of Franz Liszt. Okay, there was something I thought about Liszt when she was, oh yes. Liszt did a very great thing for music because he went all over Hungary and he did collect folk music from Hungary and he put those into his Hungarian rhapsodies. And so I don't remember how many Hungarian rhapsodies he wrote, but quite a few. And he did put in his folk music, some folk music from Hungary in those Hungarian rhapsodies. So now we are leaving the Romantic period and we are entering the Impressionistic period. And there really is only one Impressionistic composer, and that's Claude Achille Debussy. And sometimes Ravel is considered Impressionistic, but he is really not. He's more of a neoclassicist. Debussy is a real Impressionist. And Debussy was born in 1862 and he died in 1918. And Impressionist paintings were going on then, where they had drifted away from, lifelike paintings, lifelike landscape paintings, and Impressionists were painting impressions of landscapes. So it was not lifelike. So what Debussy was doing was making impressions in the music of, like, for example, the title of this piece, Jardin sous la pluie, Gardens in the Rain. He's trying to paint a picture on the piano of gardens in the rain. And the way the piece begins, you'll hear the drizzle first. Ba, 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 ba. The drizzle is coming first. And then after that, it kind of works into a storm. So it's no longer the drizzle, it's like a full-blown storm. And then at the end of that, there's a huge waterfall. Da! Big waterfall. And then the sun comes out. The rain is over with, and the sun comes out. So now, Lillian will play for you Jardin sous la pluie of Debussy. Okay, both Lillian and I really want to thank Ty Lin for this opportunity. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Gift for you. All the performers at Ariel Lunchtime concert. This is, Ariel promote quality of life. Okay. It's not just bad. Okay, thank you.